Sounded like he was at a strip joint, or maybe you claim the tunnel
or in a
of
church.
Metro Airport.
It sounded like church music to me.
I thought it was like from Narcos, a late-night dance club.
Okay, whatever.
Discoteca, I believe they call it. But 248-539-9797, the ticket text 97136. A couple things. Number one, all-encompassing about the Lions. But number two, does anybody really believe that they are going to trade Matthew Stafford? And furthermore, and this is what I find more interesting, do you want it done? Like and I'm not going to speak because you always go after me for getting it wrong, but if I polled 10 Lions fans and said, do you want Matt Stafford traded? How many of 10 would say yes?
Less than 50%, but why do you always go for the cheap, easy one? What about my theory that they're now back in on Darius Slay? That's what this is about. Everything is not about Matthew Stafford. This has nothing. These moves, or this move, Snacks Harrison and what they're going to do. And now, if anything, if you really want to extrapolate it, it makes it possibly more likely that Stafford would stay here because they now really need defensive players at number 3 or wherever, or trade down for defensive players. But the Stafford thing, I've told you again and again and again, yes, it is possible he wants out and they might work, but they're not at that point yet. That's why with a semi-straight face, Bob Quinn can say, no, we're not. He's our quarterback.
And I understand it's not about Stafford, but I do have one more thought.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and how dare you just dismiss it right from the get-go?
I just said, oh, boy.
If you think there's a chance that Stafford will be dealt or that he wants out, why not do it right now and get something more than to do it next year when he might be injured?
Well,
He's already
right
had
now,
two
what do you mean? In a month, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this offseason, yes.
Okay, fine.
Oh, good.
And that's the other thing. If they're clearing up so much cap space, could that be to more easily absorb the cap hit if Stafford is traded?
Oh, see, now I like how you're thinking.
See, the whole extrapolating thing, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. What you do is, and I've done it for many, many years, is you take crap and you throw it against the wall. And even though it's might not stick or might not, but it's different crap than other people are throwing against the wall.
But we all agree that Snacks totally played the Lions perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
just
much.
duped Bob Quinn
Pretty much.
so perfectly. And I was wrong, by the way. The Lions do save over $6 million in cap space. So that would lead to your Darius Slay theory. But on Snacks, perfectly held out of OTAs, got the contract extension, didn't play all that well, claims he's going to retire, which he still might, and then gets himself cut instead of retiring so he doesn't have to pay back anything of that bonus. It's perfect.
Yeah, I suppose it is, but at least Quinn, maybe too late, but finally cut it off and didn't give him a chance to have a rocky start and not be in shape when the season starts and all that stuff. He wasn't going to do with that. My concern, and that's why I think Bob Quinn Tricia could actually make a little bit of a statement and stop the narrative and the mocking sometimes that, they just want Quinn type of player or Patricia type of players, and they've gotten rid of all the ones, Quandre Diggs. Snacks Harrison was an outspoken guy at times, and Golden Tate and Glover Quinn. They can actually maybe buy a little bit of credibility by keeping Darius Slay, because he's one of those outspoken guys, but his talent is higher than any of those other ones.
I don't disagree. I just don't believe they will. But I wanted to ask people, in addition to Slay and, of course, Stafford, do you believe what happened today? Another guy, and Dave Burkett was on with Carson Anderson, that apparently wasn't a Patricia-type guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at Golden Tate, Quandre Diggs, who you extended then traded, Snacks Harrison, who you
that's
extended.
Weird. The same thing.
And then, of course, cut 3 guys that apparently aren't Patricia-type guys, right? And then we've heard rumblings from Glover Quinn after he retired. He, too, a veteran, not a Patricia-type guy. Does this just reek of Bob Quinn having no idea how to be a GM? Why would you extend him if you were going to cut him the next year. And
Okay.
listen, I get it. He did play bad, and he was injured, and he's a big dude, and who knows how much longer he can play. I totally understand it. But if you want to be like the Patriots, extending him was the least Patriot type thing you could do.
Okay, well, they didn't extend him for a ton of money. And just think about the perception if, with already a weak defense, Snacks Harrison the previous year was your best defensive player, was the highest rated defensive lineman, perhaps the highest rated nose tackle in Pro Football Talk history.
That
as
was
far
under
as
contract for 2 years already.
But he was already holding out quasi. He said he wasn't holding out. It was family issues or whatever. Maybe you thought that you had no choice. But to me, the one you didn't really have a choice with was Darius Slay. And Darius Slay, I won't say totally a good soldier because he sort of bitched a little bit, but he played the whole damn season, and he wasn't the greatest this year, but he played it all the way through.
He was still pretty good.
Right.
I know people love to pick about his numbers, but you are talking about a defense that gave Dak Prescott 7 seconds in the pocket to find his receiver.
Right.
I mean, at some point, what are you supposed to do? Like, Darius Slay was the best of a really bad defense.
Correct.
And he deserves to get paid, and he deserves to stick around.
Yes. And I think that's what, of all the little things you want to take out of that little video in the Karma Sutra music in the background, if you want to tell all of
That's what it is, Kama Sutra music.
Yeah.
It does sound
or
maybe
Karma
like a massage.
Sutra. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If you want to take I will take this out, that Slay might still be in the mix. Not so fast on Darius Slay. 248-539-9797. The ticket text is the 97136. You heard some of those Bob Quinn comments, but just in general, Snacks Harrison released. What do you think that means for Darius Slay? Do you want Darius Slay? We can debate Stafford too, of course, but it looks like Slay's next up. What are you going to do with Darius Slay? That's the next one up, because that's going to be a big thing in the draft. If you take, Matthew, yes, it does. Because then he might take Jeffrey Okudah if he's gone. Do you want Slay?
You could still take Jeffrey Okudah if he's here.
That's true.
And by
of
all
course,
accounts,
yes.
have a pretty darn good secondary.
So we're dealing with the three S's: Snacks, Stafford, Slay.
Scarborough.
Bo Scarborough.
A lot of people are very high on
Very
Scarborough.
high. That would be finally the classic case that the Lions never seem to get, of them finding that guy in the scrap heap. Like every other team out of nowhere has a running back running for
I know.
five.
One already.
Who?
Joik Bell. He was a security guard at Ford Field.
He was?
Wasn't
Wow,
he?
that's a
Yeah.
hell of a story.
Unbelievable,
I've never
right?
heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
You know
248-539-9797.
Stafford and Kershaw are buddies.
Remember Eugene and Izzo grew up together.
Ticket
Yeah, that
text is 97136. Jerome Bettis is from Detroit. Is that what you said?
So is Eminem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Marshall Mathers. We'll get to all your Lions talk topics next.
Manti Te'o's cousin used to play for the Tigers. And he didn't have a fake dead girlfriend.
On 97.1 The Ticket.